Welcome, business owners in North Texas. Welcome to Sell Your Company for Maximum Value with myself, Michael D. Rubin, CEO and founder of MDR Associates, and the one and only, the famous Jenny Swain.
Yes, hello, everybody. I am Jenny Swain. That's me.
Our Chief Financial Officer. Generally, Jenny and I are handling each deal together. We're going to cover this week. Here's what we're going to cover. We're going to cover a lot of the main questions we get asked and why we're different. Why is MDR and Associates different to represent you when you go to sell your company? If you're a baby boomer, you're driving around, the statistics are startling. There's 77 million of you out there, 77 million baby boomers in the United States. You guys own 40% of all small businesses in the United States, and that accounts for $10 trillion, Jenny, of company value that's going to be sold over the next 10 to 15 years. It's called the Silver Tsunami or
the gray wave.
Gray wave. Does that mean they have gray hair like me?
Well, I think that's the implication. But it probably in this day and age is not the case.
See, you're not that old because you don't have any gray hair.
Well, that is a lie, but thank you. I have a really good hairstylist.
Christy, if you're listening out there, you don't have any gray hair either. All right. So here we are. We're talking about why MDR and Associates is different. I'll tell you what, there's on our website, it's sellmycompanynow.com. Folks, we've been around 16 years, closed right at 230 transactions, anywhere between $1 and $30 million in company value. Here's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things that make us different, Jenny. Number one is we have a 90% success rate. The industry statistic is 20% in the market. So 1 out of 5 companies sell. So the question is, why does 4 out of 5 of our companies sell?
Right. Yeah, and I know the reason.
Tell me what they are. Tell me the reason.
Well, we make sure that it's a great fit. We make sure that we find buyers who are ready, willing, and able.
Yep.
And we are very focused. We don't take on 100 deals a year. We really focus.
We don't. We meet about 100, 150. We choose 12 to 15
That's right.
companies
so we
to
can
call
give
clients.
Everybody 100% attention.
Yeah, they've got to see a fit with us. We've got to see a fit with them. 90% success rate really sets us apart. We serve, 10 to 12. We'll sell 8 or 9 companies every single year for maximum value. That's right. The show's called Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. Right out of the gate, I wrote a book last summer called Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. It's 110 pages, 14 easy-to-read chapters, takes you through selling your company, what the process looks like with our firm in general, and how we're different. If you'd like a copy of that right now, get out your pens and paper. I'd like you to hit me on my direct personal cell phone. I'm going to give you my direct personal cell phone. Here it comes. 469-995-6060. 469-995-6060. Hit me on my cell phone with your name, your business type. I'll give you a free signed copy of the book, and I'll make a call to you tomorrow from Monday from 10 a.m. to 11:30. I generally make those calls, and we can connect and just see if we can help you, bless you. We'll see what you need in order to make a good decision, because you don't know if you want to sell
until you know what you're worth.
So back to why we're different. 90% success rate, I'd say, is really a key indicator, right? You can't fake those closed transactions. They're on our website at sellmycompanynow.com. That's www.sellmycompanynow.com. The second reason I feel MDR is unique is all of our transactions are led by me, the founder to founder.
Yep. So there's no junior.
There's no junior associate we're going to throw it down to. We used to have 6 or 7 salespeople, and we found through trial and error through COVID that our success rate stayed at 90% when I was personally involved, because I have all the history, all the experience, and have closed the majority of all of those transactions.
That's right.
So founder-led transactions mean you're going to get the best of the best. I don't mind telling the audience out, we're top 1% in the country on what we do, and we've been around 16 years, 230 closed transactions. I can see landmines before they come. The next differentiator is we have in-house conventional and SBA financing. We just got one of the deals approved off the radio. We had it sold 60 days ago. The final SBA approval came yesterday on the appliance service company.
Great.
So, yeah. So we have, and I went to sushi with our SBA contact a week ago. He let me know internally it's being approved. And so we have all the financing to take a buyer directly in. We're a one-stop shop. That makes us very different than other business brokerages and M&A advisory firms. Third thing is we're strict confidentiality at all times. I like to say our business is confidentiality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's 3 people we don't want, three There's three individual sources we don't want to learn that you're selling when you make the decision to sell. Number one, your employee base, right? We don't need your employees finding out and tipping that you're selling.
Correct. It just calls for too many questions.
Not good. Number two, competitors. Do we want competitors having that knowledge that you're selling? They could use that against you.
That's right.
No way. And lastly, but not least, your clients. You don't want your clients to know you're selling. So we've learned over 16 years, confidentiality is paramount. We're going to be 100% high integrity, 100% high transparency, and 100% confidential at all times. Next, we have 10,000 registered buyers in our database. We have buyers. We have high net worth individuals. We have family offices, and we have private equity. Depending on the size, we go to all of those. We have more buyers than just about anybody circling for the last 16 years. Only one bought those 230, and I guarantee every deal brings about 100 buyers to the table.
That's right.
There's tens of thousands of buyers in our database. And then we have the unique 10-step unique process. Can you speak to that real quick?
Sure.
With the two things that were different with the video and the marketing package?
Yeah, so our 10-step process is very formalized. It's very tested, and we spend a lot of time on the outset. We really get to know the company. We build this amazing marketing package. It can be anywhere from 7 to 20 pages long, letting a prospective buyer know everything there is to know about the company. And then we also have someone who creates marketing videos for us, and these are high quality marketing videos.
Tom Lociato, our VP of video production. He'll go on site, do a drone video, get the principal on camera talking about strengths, weaknesses, growth opportunities. Incredible. 3 to 3.5 minutes. It gives the emotional side of the deal, not just the marketing package. You do such a great job. If it's a small deal, it might be as little as 10 pages. It goes up to 30 pages, so 7 to 30 depending on size. So we have all the financials, and that's the financial side, and then we have the emotional aspect. So I think we package it better than just about anybody. So what I'd like to do now, Jenny, is go into some questions we get all the time. And we're going to talk about differentiating and breaking it down. First question.
How does MDR and Associates design my perfect exit strategy?
Well, it starts with a discovery meeting. We've had, 15 discovery meetings off the radio. We've listed 5 companies. So it starts with a discovery meeting. We have that first intro call maybe off the radio tomorrow. I make those calls tomorrow from 10 to 12. If you'd like me to give you an intro call, a free copy of the book, I'm going to stop real quick. I'm going to give my cell phone for the first 3 callers or people that text me right now. We're going to give you a signed copy of Sell Your Company for Maximum Value and an intro call tomorrow, just so we can discuss. Conversations free. My direct cell phone, 469-995-6060. 469-995-6060. Give me your name, your business type, and how we can serve you. So how do we design the perfect exit strategy? Very carefully. We list, first of all, the discovery meeting is about an hour and a half. We ask 40, 50 questions. And the first question generally is take us back to the beginning of the company. When did you found the company? When did you buy the company? How long have you owned it? Right? And we go down and we start drilling down on that. And in that discovery meeting, we really like to say your goals are our goals. We don't have any other agenda for that meeting. We want to know what's the perfect scenario look for you. Mm-hmm. And people respond to that.
Right.
We're asking them, what's your perfect... They're smart. Business owners are my superheroes, right? They're the smartest people on the planet. They've been running their company for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. They know what their goals are. They know. All we're doing is listening to they think their perfect scenario is. Listening to why they're selling it. That's generally the last question we ask, Jenny. Mm-hmm. We take the time to give you all the viable options to retire. It might be 100% retirement. Could be bringing a private equity or investor and they buy 80%. You keep 20% for that second bite of the apple we talked about last week on the radio. It might be it might not be us being involved at all, and there's a manager they can promote, and they never sell.
Right.
We want to do what's best for them. I know it sounds, high level and high integrity, because it is. We want whatever's best for them. We're not trying to sell them anything. Certainly don't need to sign a listing. We have plenty of those. We're trying to find the top 9, 10, 11, 12 companies a year that we can serve with high integrity, high transparency, high confidentiality. We take the time to give you all the viable options. Lastly, and this is I mentioned this, but it bears repeating. We listen. That meeting is 80% them talking and 20% us talking.
Right.
80% us listening and 20% them listening on a little bit about us at the end of the meeting.
Yes.
It's pretty typical where we don't speak for the first 45 minutes. We're asking 18, 20 questions, but we're not the ones speaking because you don't learn anything when you're speaking. So we listen intently to what their goals are, what their dreams are. And you know what a really important question is? We said it last week. What are you going to do next?
Right. Right.
And if they don't know that answer, generally they're not going to sell their company for maximum value. They're going to keep thinking.
Right. So we help them.
We help them.
We help you to vision.
Absolutely.
Task to
Sales
vision.
counselors, psychologists, whatever you want to call us.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about what's next. If they say real estate, we say, what do you mean, flipping, leasing houses? What are you thinking? And a lot of times they'll say, I've already started it. Now we're on to something. If they've already figured out what they're doing next, they'll sign a deal at the end. We can start the process knowing we can catch the rabbit. We can finish the transaction. All right, next question. Let's talk about the next big question that we get asked, or why we're different. What's the question?
Well, most prospective sellers want to know how we establish the right price. How do we price them? How do we come up with what the strike zone should be?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, we have a couple ways. Number one, we're always going to give you a signed copy of the book and listen to your story, give you some ideas, design the exit strategy in the meeting. But at the end of the meeting, we're not just going to get a signed copy of my book. You're going to get an opinion of value, which is very valuable because you don't know if you want to sell
until you know what you're worth.
So you can't possibly make a decision on selling now in 2024, 25, or 26 until you know what you're worth. Does that fit into your retirement goals? Mm-hmm. Is it enough money? Is it enough to go do something else and continue, maybe in an easier business? Maybe somebody out there is listening and you're in a very complicated business. We've sold 4 or 5 landscaping companies in the history of our firm. It's a very complicated business. Hundreds of customers are telling you didn't blow the grass off the sidewalk enough.
Right.
And another 100 are saying you cut it too short. Next, another 100 are saying you didn't cut it enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's a complicated, moving parts business. Laborers will walk off the yard if you don't pay them $1 more an hour. It's very complicated, hard to find people to work in that industry. If I'm communicating with a landscaper, he might be listening to the show. He does Highland Park. He does all the athletes. He's got a great business. But we haven't been able to meet because he's so busy.
He's too busy working.
He's so busy.
Keeping his customers happy.
Exactly. So, right price. We're going to give you an opinion of value, and that's exactly what it is. Based on our 230 service companies we've sold, manufacturing distribution companies we've sold, we're going to give you an opinion of value at the end of that hour and a half. You're going to walk away feeling armed and blessed. You'll find the value. You'll have the process in your hands. So, yeah, I like how I really love what I say, and I mean what I say. We do not want to be involved in our Christian firm. We do not want to be involved unless it blesses you and your family. So if this makes sense, after every one of these, I'll give my cell phone. I'm going to give 3 books away right now. Just hit my cell phone directly. Give me your name, your business type. My direct cell phone, 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. Michael D. Rubin at MDR Associates. What's the next question?
How does MDR Associates find the right buyer or buyer group?
Well, okay, so let's take them on a journey of it's a fit. It's 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10. We sign the listing. We start the process. Jenny builds the marketing package. Tom does the video. We're now on the websites, and I'm qualifying buyers like I've done for the last 30 years in strict commission sales. That's how long I have. And what have I been doing for 30 years? I'm qualifying buyers ready, willing, and most importantly, able to buy your business. They'll sign a confidentiality agreement or NDA and a financial profile. Sometimes they send proof of funds. Ready, willing, and most importantly, able. And that's where we shine.
Right. I mean, can you imagine as a seller if you're trying to do this yourself? It would be tough.
It's tough.
Time-consuming and frustrating.
It's tough. It really is. Yeah, absolutely. You can't do it yourself. That's why the 3rd chapter of the book it says, don't do it alone. It's a warning chapter. Do not sell your business alone. You might be able to sell a house for sale by owner.
Right.
You can't do that with a business. Don't try it. You'll take your eye off the business. The value will go down. I've seen it like a bad rerun movie. Don't do it. So what do we try to achieve? What do we try to achieve? We try to achieve the right overall price. We don't sell companies for minimum value around here, do we, Jenny?
That's right. Nope. We sell them for maximum.
For maximum value, and that means what the market will bear. What is the market going to bear? We've got a minute and a half left. We're going to have to take a quick break, so we won't get through all these. Let's move on to the next one. What about the right overall structure? There's 1,000 ways to structure these things. Jenny, you've seen it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think my creative ability to structure is one of the strengths of our firm?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, we really can pivot, and when things don't work out the way we think they're going to, we might have another option.
Absolutely, and you pivot, and maybe it's an 80% sale, or it's not SBA. Maybe there's some cash and seller financing if the SBA is not going to approve it because the financials aren't tight enough. They have to be really tight for SBA to approve it. So we come up with the structure really in the discovery meeting. We start strategizing. Is it a financial buyer or strategic buyer? What's the overall structure got to be? And we start thinking through that. So we've got 30 seconds left. We're going to cover, again, the rest of how does MDR Associates find the right buyer or buyer group when we come back. If this makes sense to you, if you want to connect with me personally, founder to founder, if we take on your deal, I'll be doing it, the chief exit officer, myself. My direct cell phone, one last time before the break, 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. Give me your name, your business type, and I'll get right back to you tomorrow from 10 to 12 with an intro call. We're going to be right back with more of Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. Welcome back to Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. I'm Michael D. Rubin with MDR Associates, the founder and CEO. I'm here with our Chief Financial Officer, Jenny on the block.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. All right, so we're right in the middle of how does MDR Associates find the right buyer and buyer group? What are we looking for in a buyer? We covered ready, willing, and able. We covered we get the maximum value, whatever the market will bear, the right overall price. And we just covered the right structure, but we didn't finish.
Right.
So 1,000 ways to structure a deal. There's cash, seller financing. There's obviously conventional bank financing, SBA financing. That you can actually use your 401k as a buyer. We've led at least over, I think, 12 to 15 buyers use their 401k retirement money to buy a company. Did you know you could do that tax-free?
I did. Yeah.
Through a company called Benetrends and a couple other they will roll your retirement money into a C Corp. It has to be a C Corp. They do all this for you. And then tax-free, you buy a company. And so we've done a few of those. So there's lots of things that we do as a one-stop shop to represent seller, but also help the buyer get it financed and structure that makes sense, that's comfortable, that the seller wants. Right. Remember that question in the discovery meeting, what's your perfect scenario? Mm-hmm. We talk about seller financing. We talk about how much cash they need at close. We start to structure that perfect exit in the discovery meeting. All right. Let's talk. The next step of this is the right transition period.
Okay.
What does that mean? How long they're going to stay?
Yeah. Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it could be a few months, or it could be 2 years. You've seen both? Right.
Yep. Seen both.
You've seen both. So, right by. Yeah. So I mean, you might. We had a deal this off the radio. We sold a garage door. He left the next day. I've never seen that, by the way. There's a big garage company that already bought 90 other garage companies, and he left the next day. And I've seen somebody stay 3 years.
Right.
The most important thing is what's important for our seller.
Mm-hmm. Do they want to stay?
Do they want to stay? And how long are they willing to stay is the question. Mm-hmm. Most buyers will say 3 to 6 months or 30 days. They have their own mind made up on how long they are willing to stay. I guess our question would be what's the longest you'll stay? I'll protect against that and not have them stay 2 years when they want to be gone in 90 days.
Right.
Right buyer fit, that just means the magic happens in the buyer-seller meeting. Once we identify a buyer, they come in, they're ready, willing, and able. Does the seller like them? Does the buyer like them? Right integrity level. I mean, we just don't like low-integrity buyers. Generally, they just won't do what they say they're going to do. They won't complete the transaction. Right for the current employees, that's, again, a cultural fit. Are they good? And that leads to the last one, which is are they the right leader? Do they have good leadership ability? Can they lead those 17 employees into the future with that transition? And there's a lot of post-integration M&A talk we could go into. We don't get into that generally. After the transaction, we're in communication with the seller, but that's about it. We're not. We don't bring teams in to post integrate. Those are much bigger transactions.
Right.
So if this is making sense to you, you're a seller driving around, and you're a baby boomer, Gen Xer, you've owned a company 10, 20, 30, 40 years, you want a free copy of my book where I go into all this stuff, hit me on my direct and confidential cell phone at 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. I'll get back to you tomorrow from 10 to 12. We'll have an intro call, and maybe that leads to a discovery meeting. We'll certainly get you a signed copy of the book. We're going to take a break here, and we'll be right back with more of Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. Welcome back to Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. I'm here with I'm Michael D. Rubin, here with Jenny Swain with MDR Associates, and we're talking about all the differentiators and the main questions that people ask us. We're going over 6 of them.
Yes.
And Jenny just let me know that I have had too much coffee today.
Sorry for all the fast talking, everybody. He is on a roll today.
All right. I got at third cup, I've got to just cut myself off with the coffee.
Got the Energizer
That's
Bunny
right.
going.
That's right. So if you see me slow down, that's because I've had too much. Here we go. We were just talking about how does MDR Associates find the right buyer or buyer group.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So now we're going to take it a different way, and we're going to talk about how we entice an offer once we have identified the right buyer.
All right.
So take it away.
All right, in a very slow and methodical manner. No. Well, the first thing we do to entice an offer, so imagine your company's on the market. We're on a lot of different websites. Buyers are coming in. Vanessa, if you're listening, she's our great VP of Client Engagement. She's signing NDAs. Once the NDA is signed, she's sending out a marketing package and a 4K video. And how do we entice the right buyer with the right offer? Well, first of all, you got to create a competitive landscape. That's what you can't do on your own, right, Jenny?
That's
you
right.
Can't...
We never just bring one offer to a buyer. Or to a seller, I'm sorry.
Right.
Never bring one.
Yeah, I mean, when we represent sellers at MDR and Associates, we're hyper-focused. Hopefully not too much coffee. We're hyper-focused, and we're serious about getting 3 to 6 offers.
Right.
Right? Have you seen that with Nova Magnetics last year in Hughes Tank?
Yeah,
We
100%.
got 3 to 6 offers. What did that do?
Well, it entices everyone to give the very best offer.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It entices everyone to give their bet. Put your best foot forward. We're looking for ready, willing, able buyers. They're either investors, private equity, family offices, and they're competing to buy this company.
Right. And it's interesting because they all kind of come with a different structure,
Mm-hmm.
different ideas,
Mm-hmm.
and but that one always bubbles to the top, and then we work with them to create the perfect scenario.
Yeah, and there's some 30-year-olds that have bought businesses from us. Not many.
Yeah.
There's way more 50 and 60 men and women in their 50s and 60s because they've got some stripes on the wall. They've done some stuff. They've bought and sold companies. Not saying you can't do that in upper 20s and 30s. It's just rare. I've seen it. I've seen those unicorns. But we look for buyers that have some experience in the field, that are financially stable, correct?
Yes.
And highly motivated. Why do I say that?
Well, they've got to be highly motivated, or it's just going to create big problems to get the transaction done and then to run the business.
Yes. I mean, these are roller coaster events to get a deal done. You've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
They die once, twice, 3 times. Beep, and you got to revive it.
Mm-hmm.
And so not only do I have to have my hope torch alive and you, but the seller has to have his, and the buyer's got to be motivated to climb over those obstacles, correct?
Yeah, right. We've had lots of deals where we've gone down the road and then figured out that the buyer wasn't incredibly motivated. And so we kind of had to regroup and go, maybe you're not the
Fire
right
the
one.
buyer.
That's
Send
right.
the earnest money back.
Right.
Roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have to create that natural fear of loss by running our 10-step process. What do I mean by fear of loss? We have backup buyers. The MAG group last year knew we had 2 backup buyers with Hughes Tank.
Yeah.
They weren't not going to close. They had a significant fear of losing that deal if they didn't complete it.
I call it a FOMO.
A FOMO?
A fear of missing out.
FOMO. Hear that, folks? Jenny on the Block just came up with FOMO.
Oh, no, it's not.
That's legit.
I did not come up with
That's
it.
legit.
FOMO. Yeah, I'm feeling FOMO about this.
And look, all I have is almost 30 years of firming these buyers up and enticing offers. It's all I do well. Jenny will tell you, Everything else, I'm an average guy.
Come on.
I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I can tell you
goodness.
that.
No, you
but
are.
I can entice an offer faster than anybody.
You are skillful at what you do.
Thank you.
100%.
Thank you very much. All right, next question. How does MDR Associates protect against legal process killing the deal? Talk about the first one there.
So, we have our own set of M&A lawyers that we use. Yep. We have deal makers. Yep. Not deal breakers.
Steve Clemens, a.k.a. Steve Clemens.
It's amazing to me in the times when we've had non-M&A lawyers involved, whether that's maybe on the buyer side, and how much they can slow the process down.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. They will slow it down. We have Steve Clemens. We've vetted these lawyers out over 16 years. Right now, is this making sense to you? You'd like a free copy of the book that breaks all this down called Sell Your Company for Maximum Value? Hit me on my direct personal cell phone right now. First 3 callers, or text me at 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. Give me your name, your business type, and I'll call you tomorrow for a quick intro call.
So are there deals, Michael, that get lost in the legal process?
If you're a lawyer, cover your ears.
Uh-oh.
Lawyers are the fastest. The wrong deal-breaking lawyer on a deal will kill a deal faster than Texas turns 105, 106, or 107 degrees in June, July, and August. Fast. Faster than a frog will jump off a lily pad.
Oh, no.
Faster than a fish bites on one of the greatest lakes in Texas. I'm telling you. Lawyers, the wrong lawyer. The right lawyer is the greatest asset to the deal you can imagine.
Yeah.
The wrong lawyer,
right.
There is no deal.
Right.
So
yeah, the right lawyer will bring a problem to you, but also provide you a solution.
Like
at
Steve
the same
Clemens.
time.
Yes. The right lawyer will, like us, see the landmines, bring the problem and the solution like Steve does at the same time.
Right.
And we climb over that. It's not a mountain all of a sudden. It's a little speed bump, and we're going to close, just like we're going to close on the appliance service business. So if that's just the way it is. That's so funny, but that's how we protect against deals dying in the legal process is, first of all, find the right lawyers. Mm-hmm. And if you have one, because a lot of times the buyer brings one we've never met. So I'll ask the buyer, are they deal maker or deal breaker? And we'll talk about that. Mm-hmm. Is it a family lawyer that doesn't know anything about M&A? That's a negative. Do not bring a family lawyer that's never done an M&A transaction. They can't dot the I's, cross the T's. They don't know mergers, acquisitions. They don't know the indemnity cap. They don't know all the nuances, the non-compete, how long, what mileage should that be. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of nuances to the legal aspect. And so I'm in awe of a great deal-making lawyer. But I tried to not work with any deal breakers that are just interested in getting paid per hour and just going on and on and on and on without closing the deal. We have to have our whole motivation needs to be aligned. The seller, the advisor, and the lawyer.
Perfect.
What's the next question?
Okay. How does MDR and Associates ensure the closing and wiring of funds?
Yeah, we covered some of this, right? So the right deal-making lawyer. Another big one is refundable earnest money. We get refundable earnest money from the right buyer, or we take them out of consideration.
Yeah, they need to put in some skin.
I don't understand how other business program M&A firms will sign a letter of intent, which is it's somewhere between worthless and interesting, and without earnest money go through a 90-day, 120-day process, which is a financial procto exam for the seller. Your seller. Right. You're tying the deal up with no commitment. I don't understand it. Mm-hmm. At our firm, there's earnest money, $25,000 to $250,000 in earnest money. It's refundable all the way until the final approval or closing of the transaction.
Yeah, and that's kind of an emotional thing, right?
Yes.
Once you put money into the game, you're more invested.
Yes. Through 230 closings, we have and will continue to anticipate landmines and deal breakers and due diligence and legal. But earnest money, a lot of times, if they threaten to get out, we said, good, I'll wire you the money today. They're like, no, hold on. So it's sticky. Mm-hmm. It makes the deal sticky. Yeah. There's a psychological thing when you wire money over, write a check, that you bought something. Right. And the last differentiator is the one and only Jenny on the block, because she's there to defend EBITDA at our firm, line item by line item by line item, if necessary. A lot of times it doesn't come to that.
Right.
But if it does, I
it.
love that we got Jenny on our team. I love that you're on our team. I'm sorry I was talking way too fast at the beginning of the episode. We're going to take a quick break, folks. If you'd like a copy of the book one last time before we take our break, hit me right now, founder to founder, at 469-995-6060. Give you a signed copy of the book. Call tomorrow. Let's see if you're a fit for us and we're a fit for you. You got to know. You don't know if you want to sell till you know what you're worth. Hit me at 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. Text or call me. Give me your name, your business type. I'll call you tomorrow. We're going to take a quick break, folks. We're going to conclude the show right after a quick break. We're going to conclude Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sell Your Company for Maximum Value with myself, Michael D. Rubin, and Jenny Swain. I'm the founder of the MDR Associates, and Jenny's our Chief Financial Officer.
Hey. What's up?
I cut the coffee off. No more coffee.
Oh, gosh. Now you're going to be all monotone.
Yes. No, I can't be monotone, but I won't be. What'd you say? I think you used the word hyper. So we're going to lower that. We're going to lower that now.
I think our lovely producer Pat.
Thank you. Pat said you've had too much coffee. I know I'm not the only one out there with too much coffee. All right, so we're back to conclude the show, folks. If you're a business owner, you're in Texas, it's amazing how far WBAP signal goes, and this is all making sense to you. We talked a lot about how we're different. We went through 6 or 7 differentiators, but I think the biggest one we need to cover is our heart. I mean, that one really is different. We have a heart for people. We have a heart for business owners. If you're a business owner and you really are worried about meeting with a firm because they might sell you into something, we're not going to sell you into anything. And
you're right. I mean, it is a differentiator. I mean, when I watch you with our sellers, you care about them.
I love people.
Yeah,
I do.
It's not a transaction to you.
It's
a relationship.
Yeah. I still call Vicki Hughes from last year and Chris Davis from Nova Magnetics in Garland. I mean, Davis family means the world to me. Hughes family means the world to me. And so if a lot of our clients, 230 of them, are become really good friends. Some have traveled with us. I mean, we keep in touch with all of them. See what the next season looks like with travel and grandkids and golf and fishing. If that's you and you're driving around thinking, I want to slow down and smell the roses, I want to stop making the donuts at some point and sell my company for maximum value. First 3 callers to hit me on my cell phone right now, direct, cell phone to my hip. Here it comes. Get your pens out, get your phones out. 469-995-6060. Text or call me at 469-995-6060. Last week I made an offer, Jenny. I said if you're doing $10 million or more in revenue annually, top of the tax return, $10 million or more, first person to hit my cell phone, I was going to give them a free complimentary third-party valuation.
Right.
Valued at $10,000. I'll do that again this week. If you're a sizable company, you don't know if you want to sell till you know
what you're worth.
If you want to know what you're worth, 150-page report. We'll send off for it. Takes 3 weeks. Give us your financials, all confidential. You want to know what you're worth because you've been thinking, you know what, I'm right at the point of selling my sizable manufacturing, sizable distribution, or sizable service company. Texas business owner, hit my cell phone right now. First caller, only one. First caller or text to call me right now at 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060 is going to get a $10,000 complimentary, will pay for it, third-party valuation. Got to be serious about finding out what you're worth to sell. That's the one qualifier. I'd love to talk to you confidentially, have an intro call with you at least tomorrow. But I think, Jenny, you've seen it. The heart is different.
Right.
We say if we can't bless our business owner, we don't want to be involved.
Yep. And that this call it's not intimidating. It's not a high stakes conversation.
Low stakes.
It's just hey, let's get to know you. Let's hear what you want. Let's hear about your business.
Yep.
And see if there's a fit.
Yep.
Or not.
And find out what you're worth.
Right.
It's a big difference if you're worth $8 million versus $16 million.
Right.
Or 4 versus 8. If you don't know, we're going to definitively, through a report that goes deep. I mean, this is a report that it costs anywhere between $7,500 and $50,000 with companies to get this report. And that's the first step for a sizable $10, $20, $30, $40 million top-line revenue company. That's who I want calling me. That's who I want to talk to, and that's what we've really excelled at, is that $3 to $100 million in revenue company. If that's you, hit me at 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. Give me your name, your business type. We'll have a confidential call tomorrow, Monday, 10 a.m. to 12.
Okay. I think we're about out of time, but maybe you spend a few minutes just talking a little bit about the current economy, current environment, and why it's such a great time to think about this right now.
Gosh, I think last week the Dow shed almost 1,100 points. I think it was Monday.
Right. Oh, it was yesterday.
It was Monday.
That's right.
Crazy. Think about that. 1,000 points. And so I went online. I was just curious because when stuff like that happens, I want to know what people are thinking. They're talking about black swan event, recessions now here. Is there any valuable way? If you wait too long, of the 58 people I've called off the radio, at least 15 of them were in their lower 70s to low to mid 80s, and the business was already gone. There was no revenue. They waited too long. And I hate giving that news back to a business owner.
Right.
There's nothing to sell.
Yeah.
So before that happens, if you're in your late 50s, 60s, or 70s, you're a baby boomer, you're waiting to sell, you've built a valuable company, find out what it's worth, let's move forward, we'll give you an opinion of value, a free copy of the book. You're right, though. It's like, don't wait too long. It's a theme I'm seeing now where you just don't know when you want to sell and you're not emotionally ready, or you're ready or you're not ready. You're never ready to sell. So you might as well start preparing if you're 3 years before, 2 years before, a year before. I love getting calls from people that go, I'm ready. I know I'm ready. I'm highly motivated.
Yep.
Let's evaluate it. I'd love to come in and have a discovery meeting with MDR Associates. Company's doing great. It's stable or growing. If that's you, folks, don't miss out on the gray wave.
The Silver Tsunami.
The Silver Tsunami. Somebody's going to get that $2 trillion of buyer money that's on the street. It might as well be you. One last time, if you're a business owner, I'm going to invite you to call me, founder to founder. Text me your name, your business type. Let me know who you are. I'll give you a signed copy of the book and a call tomorrow. That might lead to a discovery meeting where we can sit down and really get to know each other. Gosh, Jenny, it's been my honor and privilege the last 24 weeks. Next week's our last week.
Oh, my goodness.
Next week is
our
last week. We're going to end up doing 24 shows. We have to cut it a little bit short, but it's been an honor and privilege to be with you as business owners, and can't wait to do last week. We'll have a great week. You tune in next week to sell your company for maximum value. Until then, folks, be blessed.